Big data and the cloud helping to bring clean water to some of the most remote regions of the world.
Treating children in Nigeria with the serious medical attention that they need if they have kidney disease.
And his artwork goes back to the 1960s, and it remains one of Nigeria's most respected academics. We'll have his story. Africa 54 starts right now.
And hello, I'm Cynthia at Channels Television here in Lagos.
And I'm Vincent McCory of the Voice of America, coming to you from our global headquarters in Washington. Thanks for joining us.
Now, in many parts of Africa, some people believe in treating children with herbal remedies or antibiotics for different ailments. But we hear from Channels TV reporter Yomi Otaigbe, medical experts are stressing the importance of providing the right kind of care for kids with kidney problems.
Millions of people worldwide are exposed to different medical challenges. However, when some health issues such as kidney diseases are mentioned, a lot of emphasis are on the adults, perhaps with little attention paid to the children. A consultant nephrologist practicing at the Lagos State University Teaching Hospital, Dr. Theophilus Umezudike, explains that although statistics are scarce in Nigeria on the number of children with kidney disorders, the likely causes of the condition in children are known.
For mothers who have preterm babies, those babies are at risk of what is called reduced kidney mass. And of course, if a child is treated with antibiotics or analgesics indiscriminately without a doctor's prescription all the time, that can put the child at risk of kidney problem.
It is said that some people who come down with kidney problems later in life may have started from early childhood. Although kidney diseases may begin unnoticed, medical experts do have a list of what to look out for.
If a child is still bedwetting at about the age of 10, 11, 12, it may be necessary to look and see why the child is still bedwetting at that age. Also, if a child wakes up often at night to urinate, that could also be a symptom of early kidney disease. And then, of course, when there's blood in the urine, that's an alarm sign.
Some children will wake up with their eyes swollen, and as the day progresses, that sort of disappears, and the legs can start swelling.
As much as possible, parents should avoid giving children herbal remedies, because some make it a habit that once a child has some little health challenge, they give agbo or any other herbal remedy.
Screening for possible kidney diseases in children involves checking the urine for protein or blood in urine and blood pressure, as some children may have elevated BP for their age.
Kidney disease is common in the society, and that if it's detected at the very early stage, then it's treatable, and we could really curb the expenses that comes with dialysis or kidney transplantation.
The kidneys are two bean-shaped organs, each about the size of a fist. Every day, the two kidneys filter about 120 to 150 quarts of blood to produce about 1 to 2 quarts of urine, composed of waste and extra fluid. Yomi Otaigbe reporting for Channels Television News.
Well, moving now from health to trade. Kenya imports a huge number of second-hand clothes each year, but the Six Nation East African Community, EAC, are considering a ban on the imports of used clothes, shoes and vehicles. It's an attempt to promote local industry. Lenny Rovaga reports from Nairobi.
Suleiman Kamau has been selling second-hand clothes for 12 years at the toy market here in Kibera. He's worried about the proposed regional ban on second-hand clothes.
It's a bad blow because I'm educated. I went to school. I'm cool, I have a diploma, but I'm not employed. There's no employee. So this was my source of income. Instead of engaging in other illegal activities, this was the best.
Not only do sellers like Kamau depend on this trade for their living, but Kenyans also depend on it for affordable clothes. The goal of the ban would be to encourage local Kenyan industry. Economists agree that Africa needs to produce more finished products. The recent economic downturn in China has only highlighted the limits and risks of commodities-based growth. Industry leaders in Kenya support the ban.
If we have an opportunity where we're able to sell these goods in our local market, it then leads to the growth of that industry. And the second-hand traders, in my view, would also be able to sell these clothes in the local market, because it's not limited to who can trade in manufactured clothes. So they would replace the product and sell it with locally manufactured goods.
Alpha Knits has been producing garments outside Nairobi for about 40 years. The business employs 600 people. Today, Director Hiran Bedi checks fabric quality. He says it will take more than an import ban for him to compete with Mitumba, the Swahili word for used clothes.
If the power cost doesn't go down, then the cost will remain high, and then we cannot compete against the Mitumba. So there are certain factors which need to be addressed by government to help us get reasonable pricing for the people who are going to stop buying Mitumba.
An Alpha Knit sweater currently retails for about $5. That's about double what it costs to buy one second-hand. Lenny Ruvaga for VOA News, Nairobi.
The organization is using big data and the cloud to bring clean water to some of the most remote regions of the world. The data could show how much water people living outside of cities really need. Tina Trin has that story.
New York-based nonprofit Charity Water is one of the more well-known aid organizations on the scene, with 1.5 million followers on Twitter and Hollywood supporters like Will and Jada Pinkett Smith. Still, the overwhelming feedback from donors was one that most charities have likely had to face. How much of a difference did their donations make? For the answer, Charity Water executives turned to technology.
Charity Water has been, since the very beginning, an organization really focused on using technology and gathering a lot of data about our projects. So since day one, we've mapped every single project on Google Earth.
Donors can search the Google Maps widget on Charity Water's website to see exact locations and pictures of all the water projects that have been implemented across 4 continents, over 17,000 in all. For Charity Water's directors, technology has also helped shed light on the efficacy of their efforts.
We're sort of in the middle of a quantum leap forward in terms of all of the data that we're able to collect.
A large part of that data comes courtesy of sensors installed on the water sources.
What we're able to see, for example, through our sensors is, how much water a particular well pumped on the other side of the world.
For Charity Water, real-time data for a well as far away as Nepal can be instantly accessed online.
So this is a sort of a mock-up of a well in Nepal, and the piped sensor will fit on the tap like that.
By analyzing the data over time, Charity Water officials can chart peak water usage times and even determine when a well might need repairs.
We are collecting census data on before and after conditions for the communities that we're helping across hundreds of households in the areas that we're working on. All of this is coming together and being aggregated into a much richer picture of what our work represents in the field. We've always known that we're doing good, and what this does is it tells us precisely how much good we're doing.
And based on the responses Charity Water has amassed, it's obvious their work has paid off. Tina Trin, VOA News, New York.
Now, our next story also comes to us from the cloud, or should we say the clouds. In an effort to attract attention to Egypt's tourism industry, skydivers recently took part in a competition leaping out of helicopters over Egypt's Great Pyramids. Hamada Al-Rassam has our high-flying report.
Skydivers say the competition at Egypt's famed Great Pyramids was aimed at attracting more visitors to the country. Egypt has suffered a $1.3 billion drop in tourism revenue over the past few months. More than 200 skydivers from 17 countries took part in the recent 3-day competition. Skydivers jumped from more than 1,100 meters high and tried to land as close as possible to their targeted spot. Organizers say this event sends a message to the world.
أنا بقول إن مصر في أمان. مصر أم الدنيا.
Egypt is strong and it will never be affected by all the chaos going on. We want to emphasize to the world that our country is safe and tourists are welcome.
Tourism is one of the most important sectors of Egypt's economy. The suspected terrorist downing of a Russian plane over North Sinai last year badly hurt the tourism industry, driving away nearly 4 million tourists. To bring them back, analysts say Egypt needs to not only better market the industry, but review its security policies.
What is required is actually some kind of a multi-dimensioned plan. You need to, first of all, reassess all the counterterrorism strategies that have been going on for the past 2 years, because Egypt has been in an official open war against terrorism since 2013. So where did that go? Where did that lead? How effective were these strategies? This needs to be reviewed. On the other hand, the Egyptian tourism sector needs to be marketed in a lot more professional manner than it is right now.
While sporting events are good publicly, he says the government needs to do more to support and protect the tourism industry. Hamada El-Rassam for VOA News, Cairo.
We want to know what you think about Africa 54 and the stories we cover. Join the conversation on Facebook. The address is Africa 54, and check out our headlines 24/7 on voaafrica.com. Still to come. They're called our best friends and they share our history. But scientists don't agree on just when dogs evolved from wolves. Stay with us.